Hello, brothers and sisters, my friends. How are you doing today? Oh, well, I hope you had a good day. Um, if you didn't, I'm sorry to hear that. But if you did, good for you. Today was kind of a rough day for me. Some projects I was working on in Excel um, reverted back to a earlier copy from Thursday, so I had to start all over. And thankfully, I had printed them off, and I'm almost done. I'm almost back to where I used to be. In fact, it's even better because since I printed them off, I can organize them um, according to their how much they are. Um, saw a post earlier talking about one of the last things Christ said, and the guy got it mostly right, but at the same time, there were some things that he got wrong. Um, One of the last things Christ said was, "Why have you forsaken me? Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?" And that was the hardest part for God. Now, this gentleman, I follow his YouTube because, he does some good Christian content and I like it. But he said that, or was it? Yeah, he said that God delighted in what he did, having his son crucified. And that really bothered me because that's not true. I think it was the prophet Joseph Smith who said, when that happened, God withdrew himself to the furthest part of his kingdom. It wasn't something easy for him to do. I'm sure that God wanted to save his son, take him off, take away his pain. But God also knew that this is something that needed to be done. Jesus needed to finish his sacrifice so that he could save the rest of his children. And Christ went through it. Mind you, he did have the power. Christ had the power to take himself off the cross. There's no doubt in any Christian mind that Christ did not have the power to take him down. He did. He absolutely had every power he wanted to. But what we learned earlier is why Christ did this, why he didn't do it. And that was when he, in the garden, Jesus asked for, "If it be thy will, Father, to remove this cup." See, Christ, while he was divine, he was still human. He knew what would happen. He knew how horrible it would be. But then with these 4 words, we knew Christ's devotion to us, to God and his will. Well, maybe more than 4 words. Not thy will be done, not my will, but thy will be done. So it's a little more than 4. So I can't count. Give me a break. And when God withdrew himself, that was probably the single most the hardest thing God had to endure was doing that. Now there's a scripture, and it's my favorite chapter in all the Book of Mormon. It's 3rd Nephi, chapter 11. And let's see. Here's a verse that coincides with what Christ did. 3rd Nephi chapter 11, verses 10 and 11. And he says, "Behold, I am Jesus Christ, whom the prophets testified shall come into the world. And behold, I am the light and the life of the world. And I have drunk out of the bitter cup which the Father hath given me, and have glorified the Father in taking upon me the sins of the world. And the which," and here it comes the big thing, "in the which I have suffered the will of the Father in all things from the beginning." So Christ knew that he had to drink of the bitter cup. He knew he had to surrender his will to the will of God. And we're not much different. Look at how unique and different each one of us has. We have a free will in which we're able to choose good or bad, right from wrong. And we each have this. And I don't believe science can disprove free will. Because we've seen people who will act a certain way their whole life, and then all of a sudden, boom, you take a sharp left turn right into hell. We see it all the time. And it's horrible. For us to become true disciples of Christ, this is where it comes in. To think celestial. To give up your will. It's not about your will. You're not giving up free will. But you're wanting to do what the Father wants you to do. This is thinking celestial. Prime example. Might say, this is an example, not true. Well, maybe when I was younger. Imagine that you're an active member of the church or a strong Christian, and your friends want you to go party with them on Sunday. Now, you could have your will in going to that party and having lots of fun, and, maybe you'll meet your future wife or husband. But there's a part of you that wants to do your Father's will. Don't go to the party you feel you shouldn't go. That's the will of the Father. He wants you to stay away from the party. He wants you to remember the Sabbath. That's the important thing right there, is when we are swallowed up in the will of God, we are thinking celestial. So remember, we have will, but it's up to us if we're going to be swallowed up in the will of God and do all things that He has commanded. We slip from time to time. That's okay. You're human. Enjoy being human. So I'm going to call it a day. I've got things I'm going to do and get ready for bed. It's been a long day. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Remember that I love you all. Each and every single one of you I love. Even if you get on my nerves, I love you guys. And I hope for the best for you guys, and I'll pray for you guys. You guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. The week is still young. There's always time to think celestial. Take care. And my timing sucks.